Well, here we are once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome yourselves back to the channel with another story, another report, all to do with women's sports being affected by men also competing. We all understand the issue that is going on. I quite honestly wish, as does everybody else, that the headlines weren't so frequent, but they seem to go on and on and on and on. And as you can see by the title, thumbnail, and headline on your screen, it is all to do with women's football. Yes, football. Not soccer, I do apologize to any Americans. And this story is coming out of England as well, which I find kind of interesting. But we have a male who identifies as a woman that was playing women's football and has left. Other women fearing for their safety, so they're now refusing to compete against this team with this individual in after they broke another woman's leg whilst that woman blocked a shot. And because of all of this, the male identifying as a woman has now quit and is suing for discrimination. Anyway, before we carry on with this one, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating, as it really helps out the video. As we know, these aren't politically correct topics, so every like really does count. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Comment on this video, share this video. But the Daily Mail go on to report, teammates rally round transgender woman footballer who quit after rivals refused to compete against him after he left opponents terrified and broke player's knee, as he now threatens to sue for discrimination. Fans are rallying behind a transgender woman who quit his team after rivals terrified by his physical power on the pitch refused to compete against him. Francesca Needham, 30, withdrew from the South Yorkshire-based Rossington Main Ladies for the foreseeable future after opponents refused to play the team last weekend over alleged safety concerns. The boycott is said to have followed a player suffering a broken knee when blocking a shot from the trans player. 2 matches in the Sheffield and Hallamshire Women's League were called off as a result of the campaign. So with this story, I'm not going to lie to you, I really do feel like I'm living in the land of Nod, because we have somebody who is now suing for discrimination after women who are scared about their safety don't want to compete. So what that says to me is, hey look, these women have to compete against me and my team, otherwise I'm going to sue, even though they've also broken another woman's leg after she blocked the shot. How this is even going to go down the legal route, I do not know. But again, we have fans and teammates rallying behind this individual. So what you say to me and everybody else is you do not care about the fairness and safety within your own sport. Which is kind of interesting, right? Because if you lined every single one of these people up and you asked them, well, firstly, do you care about women's rights? And secondly, do you care about women's safety? They'd all put their hands up and say, yeah, well, of course I do. Of course I do. So you can see how this doesn't make any sense. Needham has since announced he is set to step down from playing football for the sake of his club and is threatening to sue, as he said he has abided by all the Football Association policies on transgender players. Supporters have now branded the situation as saddening. Yeah, I bet the girl that has broke her leg is very sad as well, and told Needham that they will stand by you as he paves the way forward for other trans players. As you can see, the individual on your screen there who was in the team, there they are pictured with all the women in the other team, all the other girls, and they do stick out like a sore thumb for obvious reasons. Yeah, we also have people showing support on Facebook, it looks like. Hope everything gets sorted soon. It's a very delicate situation, but hopefully you will pave the way forward so no one else has to go through what you have. What about the girl that's injured, as I keep on repeating? Does anyone care about that? Apparently not. So bloody saddening that it has come to this. Wishing you all the best, Fran. A big decision, Fran. Yes, very big, but one I believe your teammates, club officials, and every Rossington Main Ladies FC supporters, RMLFC supporter will stand by you on. All the best going forward. Wow. Needham, commenting on his club's Facebook site, revealed that his side has faced challenges from teams unwilling to play against us while I'm on the field. I can't imagine why. This unfortunate circumstance has prompted me to investigate pursuing a case of discrimination, as I believe it represents a breach of a code of conduct regarding diversity and inclusion, yes, lovely buzzwords, as well as safeguarding of adults in football established by both the Football Association and the Sheffield and Hallamshire Women and Girls League. He said he was standing down in the best of interests of club and teammates, stating it's disheartening to acknowledge that this situation contradicts everything in the diversity and inclusion policies, given that I have diligently met every single requirement set out by the Football Association to play. And he added, I sincerely hope that this issue of perceived discrimination against me can be resolved peacefully and promptly. Yeah, because it's all about me, how I feel, my feelings, all about the women that are playing against you, by the way. No one cares about their feelings, and again, the woman that has broken her leg. Needham had received full backing from his club, with the ladies team secretary posting the message, "In unity, we defeat discrimination," as well as its fans. It's crazy to me that a lot of people are standing by this, and again, a lot of them will be women as well. That's insane. The trans player has only played 2 matches this season, both in October, after apparently being given clearance by the FA. In the first game, the opponent's manager, who asked not to be named, realised 5 minutes into the game that he was transgender. So the FA, which is the Football Association, and I know as a massive football fan myself how incompetent they can be, even when it comes to the men's side of things, have given this clearance. So down to them, a woman has now broken her leg, and other women are fearing for their safety, and they're refusing to compete. They should be ashamed of themselves. And even though those situations have happened, remember guys, it's all about diversity and inclusion, right? Yeah, but as you can see on your screen, we have the male warming up with the other girls. The size difference is very apparent. The manager, who then realised 5 minutes into the game that he was a male identifying as a woman, goes on to say it was obvious. The manager said, "Unfortunately, the FA allowed it to happen but didn't let anyone know. He's quite a big, strong player. People have refused to play because they are worried about the safety of players. My players were backing out of challenges, as psychologically it's quite a big thing. When you are playing against a biological man, it's quite scary. They were terrified." That's huge. To have your team play a different way because psychologically it's also affecting them just shows how insane this all is. These women are scared about going into the challenges because they don't want to get injured like the other woman was. Needham has scored 2 goals in the last 2 games he has played in. Wow. But last month, an opponent who was asked not to be identified suffered a serious knee injury when he was said to have blocked a shot from Needham. There was no foul play or intent to injure, said the players' manager. Launching a fundraising site to help her, a teammate commented that she is facing serious consequences of an unfortunate grey area in women's football, which is going to be extremely detrimental to her work and personal life. Now, I don't think it was the ball hitting her knee when blocking the shot, which happens a lot in football. I think it's, she's gone to block the shot, and it's the collision of blocking the shot going forward and then potentially a follow through as well. They don't state what happened during the whole thing. Maybe they landed on her leg, who knows? But when you have somebody who is physically larger than probably all the women on the pitch, physically stronger, that is going to happen. An injury is going to happen. And it only took 2 games. Rossington main president Gerald Parsons refused to comment on the controversy, apart from stating that their opponents couldn't raise a team in recent weeks. Again, I couldn't imagine why. Needham has been unavailable for comment. The manager of one of the teams to refuse to play explained the boycott. "I have 16 and 17-year-old players playing for me, and their parents weren't too keen to put their welfare at risk." He said it was a welfare issue from the club's perspective than a transgender issue. So I imagine this is an open age thing as well, because normally you don't get 30-year-olds playing against 16 and 17-year-olds. So just imagine that we have a 30-year-old man who potentially could be playing against 16 and 17-year-old girls. A risk of a serious injury to these teenage girls is huge. This should not be going on in any way, shape or form. How the FA are allowing this to happen, they need to start looking in the mirror. They really do. The FA policy is for transgender players over 16 to be approved on a case-by-case basis. A decision will have regard to the safety of the applicant and fellow players and the need to ensure fair play and fair competition. It states there will be a presumption of approval if the player satisfies hormone-based requirements. Blood testosterone levels must be within a specified range and hormone treatment verified annually. All applications will be handled by the FA's equality manager. Well, they certainly need to be fired after this one. Fiona McKenna at Fair Play for Women said, "Footballers are separated by sex for very good reasons. If you put one male on the pitch, they are faster, they are stronger. It is patently unfair, and in a contact sport like football, it's unsafe. These women didn't choose mixed football, they chose women's football. It's not because this player is trans, it's because they are male." She goes on to also say it doesn't matter whether the player has fully transitioned or not. As Sports Council guidance states, it is not possible to reverse the effects of male puberty. She added, "The law says you can separate in sport on the basis of sex if that is necessary for fairness and safety, and clearly It is. The FA has a new draft policy on trans players that is yet to be published. Ms. McKenna said the FA has consulted on updating it and they need to do something about it urgently because women and girls are getting hurt in football. How this has been allowed to go on by the FA is absolutely insane, whilst also women are refusing to compete. Well done to them, but also a woman has been injured, and who knows, maybe other women have also been injured. And at an amateur level, by the way, where tackles aren't as professional, let's say, because it's not the elite level, they can actually end up being worse. So just think about this male who's going in to tackles potentially against 16, 17-year-old girls and other women. An injury will occur, right? That's just common sense. And at an elite level as well, in the men's side of things, for example, tackles leave players sidelined for months. They can be on the sideline for about a year and a half or so because of the physicality, the speed that they go into the tackle. So again, think about this male who's on the pitch tackling other women, going one-on-one with them. Like, you really have to sit here and think, how do people not see this? How do people think, right, yeah, everything's going to be okay, nobody's going to get injured? Putting your body on the line and facing a potential injury, which is more likely going to happen when a male is on the pitch, yeah, they shouldn't have to do. They shouldn't have to end up in a wheelchair just because this organization wants to be all-inclusive and diverse and reaffirm somebody's feelings. It's crazy. It really is. But as we know, apparently the individual truth matters more than pretty much anything else at this point. But leave your thoughts down below, ladies and gentlemen, on this story. What are your thoughts on everything we spoke about? I'd like to know. Again, if you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Comment on this video, share this video. But until next time, until tomorrow, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.